What happens when a hot-headed, arrogant young calligrapher suddenly gets exiled to a remote village on a small island? That's the premise of Barakamon, a slice-of-life anime that's not only funny and heartwarming, but also rich in meaning about growth, acceptance, and rediscovering joy in life's simplest moments. Directed by Masaki Tachibana, known for Tokyo Magnitude 8.0, and produced by Kaneyama Citrus, Barakamon is far more than a story of escaping city chaos. It's an emotional journey filled with laughter, introspection, and small, memorable surprises. The background score by Kenji Kawai adds emotional depth, while the voice acting breathes life into the cast, especially Naru, the energetic and mischievous little girl who can steal anyone's heart in an instant. At first glance, this might seem like a lighthearted tale about a city guy in the countryside, but don't be fooled. The first 3 episodes hold much more than meets the eye. Is Barakamon just a relaxing watch, or is it actually one of the most heartwarming anime ever made? Let's find out in this 3-episode rule of Barakamon. Episode 1 introduces Honda Seishu, a 23-year-old gifted calligrapher with a short temper and an inflated ego. During an art exhibition, he is deeply offended when a curator criticizes his work as unoriginal, like something copied from a textbook. In a fit of rage, Honda punches the curator in public. As a result of the incident, and following his father's advice, Honda is sent to a remote village on Goto Island in rural Japan to cool his head. Upon arrival, he's greeted by the village chief, Kido, who hands him the key to his temporary home. But to his surprise, Honda finds a little girl named Naru hiding inside his new house. Apparently, the house had been a makeshift clubhouse for Naru and the other village kids. Naru instantly nicknames him Junon Boy, a term for handsome young men, much to Honda's annoyance. He tries to kick Naru and the chief out, but they keep coming and going as they please, until Honda finally gives up and lets them stay. Once things settle, Honda tries to focus on his calligraphy practice, with Naru curiously watching. She innocently comments that his writing looks like her school teacher's, unintentionally triggering Honda's insecurity. Frustrated, he stops and storms out to clear his mind. Outside, he runs into Naru again, and the two apologize to each other. Naru excitedly invites Sensei Honda to explore the village. As the day ends, she leads him to a seaside embankment, her favorite sunset spot. Though Honda is skeptical due to the cloudy sky, Naru insists, "You'll never know if you don't try climbing up." Sensei mo hayo koi! Konkabe o koen ba nan mo mienzo! Touched by her optimism, Honda gives in. They witness a stunning sunset together. On the way home, Honda is overwhelmed by the warm hospitality of the villagers who show up at his home to help him settle in. Though awkward at first, Honda begins to feel the welcoming nature of this tight-knit community. That night, moved by the day's experiences, he finds creative inspiration. With a newfound sense of freedom, he wildly paints the kanji for joy on a canvas, ink splattering everywhere as he laughs, far from the rigid perfection he once idolized. The episode ends on an uplifting note. Honda begins to realize that in this small village, through Naru and nature's charm, he might rediscover the soul of his art. Episode 2 picks up a week into Honda's stay. The villagers kindly bring him meals, but Honda feels uneasy about relying on others. Hiroshi, a local high schooler and the village chief's son, is tasked with delivering lunch to Honda. Reluctant at first, Hiroshi plans to tell Honda to become more self-sufficient. Meanwhile, Honda's house is quickly overrun by Naru and her friends, Miwa, a tomboyish 14-year-old, and Tamako, also 14 and an aspiring mangaka. They come to retrieve forgotten belongings and end up causing a mess before leaving. Soon after, Naru returns with her shy toddler friend Hina to play again. Overwhelmed by the kids' energy, Honda eventually sends them home. Just then, Hiroshi arrives with lunch, but as Honda opens the door, he suddenly faints, exhausted from pulling an all-nighter practicing calligraphy. Panicked, Hiroshi is helped by Naru, who shows him Honda's workroom, cluttered with ink and practice sheets. Seeing how hard Honda's been pushing himself, Hiroshi feels inspired to study and work harder too. The next morning, still pale and sickly, Honda is taken to the hospital by the villagers. News spreads quickly, and soon his hospital room is flooded with concerned neighbors. Initially embarrassed, Honda is touched by their sincere kindness. Thanks to their support, he recovers quickly and returns home the next day. This episode deepens Honda's appreciation for the villagers, realizing their noisy concern stems from genuine care. Episode 3 shows Honda adapting further to village life. One day, he runs out of ink and heads to a local store, where he bumps into Tamako, who's also there for ink. With only one bottle left, Honda graciously lets her have it. On the way home, Tamako asks him to read her manga manuscript intended for a shonen magazine. Honda agrees, but is stunned by the gore-filled first page. Trying to be polite, he suggests toning down the violence and adding more classic shonen elements like friendship. Tamako, a hardcore fan of niche genres and a bit of a fujoshi, passionately defends her creative vision. Honda, overwhelmed, ends up reading the entire manuscript. Not only that, Tamako lends him a huge bag of manga, including Full Metal Alchemist and Soul Eater, for reference. You can imagine Honda's exhaustion. Later that night, Tamako becomes anxious, fearing Honda might expose her as an otaku and yaoi fan, an embarrassing thought in her small-town world. In a panic, she rushes to Honda's home to retrieve the manuscript, only to walk in on a hilariously misleading scene. Honda had tripped while reaching for the ink Hiroshi brought, and ended up falling into his arms. Tamako, in full fujoshi mode, jumps to conclusions and flees in embarrassment. The next day, Honda learns that his latest calligraphy piece placed second in a prestigious contest. Instead of feeling proud, he's devastated, beaten by an 18-year-old. Drowning in doubt, Honda spirals into self-loathing. Sensing this, Naru invites him to a village tradition, catching mochi thrown from a boat during a local celebration. Though reluctant, Honda gives in. At the event, Honda fails to catch a single mochi, outpaced by the kids and villagers. The small failure deepens his sense of defeat, but then an elderly woman gently scolds and encourages him, saying something along the lines of, "In life, we don't always have to look upward. Be patient, let go of failure, and try again. Don't give up." Her simple wisdom moves Honda deeply. That evening, Honda is surrounded by Naru and the village children at his home. He thanks them sincerely for giving him such a joyful day. The moment marks a real shift. Honda is no longer just a visitor. He's beginning to open up, learning to enjoy life in the village, and letting go of the rigid ambitions that once defined him. Honda Seishu, a young perfectionist calligrapher, starts off as hot-tempered and emotionally volatile. After the incident in the city, he's sent to Gato Island, where he gradually begins to change. In the early episodes, Honda is stiff and defensive, especially in response to criticism and Naru's constant mischief. But over time, his interactions with the villagers shape him into someone more patient, humble, and open-hearted. Naru plays a major role in Honda's development. This energetic little girl becomes both his partner in crime and a bright light in his life. Her spontaneous antics, scribbling on his work, letting bugs into the house, initially irritate Honda, but eventually become a source of joy. Their relationship feels like that of an older brother and younger sister. Honda becomes a protective figure, while Naru offers endless encouragement and warmth. Other characters add depth to the story as well. Miwa the tomboy loves teasing Honda. Tamako, the quiet bookworm and secret otaku, brings her own brand of chaos. While they can be a handful, it's clear they genuinely care for Honda. Hiroshi, the village chief's son, starts off insecure but comes to admire Honda's dedication, becoming both a sounding board and a bridge between Honda and village life. Kids like Hina and Kentaro add to the vibrant and humorous village atmosphere, though Honda is the only character who undergoes significant development. The rest of the villagers are memorable and full of personality. They play a crucial role in helping him rediscover perspective, both in life and in his art. Barakamon centers on themes of self-discovery and the meaning of life through simple, everyday interactions in the countryside. Instead of relying on major conflicts, Honda learns through ordinary moments, playing with kids, chatting with villagers, or participating in traditions like the Mochi Festival. Each episode is a gentle story with a sincere message, whether it's about apologizing, letting go, or valuing the process over result. The rural setting forces Honda out of his comfort zone, living without urban convenience, interacting with people whose whose values and lifestyles differ from his professional peers. The mischief, kindness, and sense of community slowly soften his once rigid outlook. The anime beautifully portrays the peaceful, warm life on Goto Island. Children play freely, elders chat over tea, and local culture thrives in subtle, quiet details. Through all this, Barakamon delivers a powerful message that happiness is often found in simplicity. Story. Barakamon has a simple, episodic plot, but it shines through its characters and moral substance. There are no grand conflicts or melodrama. That's part of its charm. Each episode tells a heartfelt tale with consistent humor and organic lessons. The downside? Viewers seeking action or emotional intensity may find it a bit too calm. Visuals. The visuals are lovely. The rural scenery is painted with bright colors and immersive backdrops. Character designs are simple yet expressive, perfect for both the comedy and slice of life tone. The animation isn't flashy, but it's smooth and consistent enough to fully support the story. Characters. Characters are Barakamon's biggest strength. Honda is portrayed realistically, flawed but steadily growing. Naru is a scene stealer, refreshing, adorable, and full of spirit. Their interactions radiate warmth. Supporting characters like Miwa, Tamako, Hiroshi, and others bring unique energy and create a lively, believable community. The theme of intergenerational friendship is handled exceptionally well. Emotion and atmosphere. Barakamon doesn't go for big emotional climaxes, but instead delivers heartfelt moments that touch viewers gently. Many scenes evoke smiles and light reflection. The comedy is wholesome and suitable for all ages. While emotional tension is mild, the show leaves a strong feel-good impact, one that's calming and quietly uplifting. With its touching slice-of-life storytelling, beautiful visuals, lovable characters, and soothing atmosphere, Barakamon stands out as one of the best in its genre. It may not deliver intense drama or shocking twists, but its true power lies in sincere simplicity, executed with heart. Rating, solid. In other words, Barakamon is highly recommended, not only entertaining, but emotionally rewarding. A perfect watch for anyone seeking a warm story about life, personal growth, and the purest forms of happiness.